Good morning, everybody. It is, let's say, July 3rd. We're up here in Montana. We're in the, Bitterroot National Forest. We've been on the road for 2 months now. So this morning here, we woke up to severe thunderstorms. It's been raining like crazy. It's been thundering. It's been hailing. We had some mega big hails coming down. So we're just set up here and out of the rain. And we're chilling. Oh, look at this hail starting again. I don't know if you can see it. And we got some big hail coming down now. I'm glad I'm underneath something. So, in the meantime, we're making some pancakes. We made our coffee ready. We're just hanging out. Look at all white on the ground here from the hail in July. So, we've been on the road for 1 month, and we're going to give you our my thoughts of living on the road for 2 months. I mean, or my thoughts, things I've learned, and give you a tour of my my casa, my house here, and how I live. We'll catch you in a bit as soon as it clears up, and we'll get through everything. We'll catch you in a bit. This is some crazy weather. It is pouring, it is hailing, and it is thundering. Montana. Hey everybody. The sun came out. It was a horrible morning, man. It was thunder and lightning and hailing. It was, wow. It was amazing. It was very cool. So, we were saying we got 2 months on the road. And I just wanted to go talk about it a little bit. What I've been through, what I'm going through. So, I am relaxed. It's been a crazy little situations. But I'm enjoying myself. I got a lot of freedom. I feel good. I'm not stressed. So, one of the things I decided to do when I left, or why I left, was just the stress of life. Family, everything else, and the whole thing of work. The whole, how do you say it, random, and the whole routine. It's just over and over. It was go to work, come home, lay on the couch, watch TV, drink a beer, have dinner, go to work, you know, same thing every day, and then dealing with stress at work, and then dealing with stress of going home and driving on the highways, going back and forth to work. I had to drive on Route 80 in New Jersey every day, and that highway was a nightmare. That's another thing that would stress you out. So I've been doing this for 45 years, working in this industry, and the last job wasn't too bad. Had a lot of nice bosses, but a lot of the other jobs I had were just absolutely crazy bosses, insane, violent, yelling, screaming, harbored just a lot of nasty people, horrible people. Nobody's happy. You're in such a depressed atmosphere. It wasn't good. So, at 64, a little over 64, I was having family problems, so I decided to just hit the road. I figured, why not? I don't own a house. I'm not in debt. I don't own a credit card. I don't have a wife, no girlfriend, so I am totally free. So, quit the job, got on my Social Security, saved up some money, and I bought a few things. I'm just living out of my Jeep full time. So we're living there for 2 months now, and I am happy. I am a lot stress-free. I'm feeling good. I've been through, let's see, what have I done so far? We've been through 17 states so far. So we've been through New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. So we're in Montana now. We spent about a week here so far, a little over a week maybe, I'm not sure. So Montana is a pretty cool state. So we also put about a little over 6,000 miles on the car, on my Jeep. And we probably spent about $1,500 on gas so far. So we're slowing down a little bit, trying to save some money. We bought our little things that we had to have. And that's it, things that we learned. So a lot of stuff. When I left, I really filled up the Jeep, packed it up, man. There was so many memories. And after a day, I said, nah. I threw even, I mean, before I left, I threw out tons and tons of stuff, getting rid of everything I owned. I didn't put anything in storage because I knew I probably won't come back to New Jersey. And even when I was driving my first day, I threw out so much stuff, clothes, just all the odds and ends, just I don't need it. I can get by without it. So we learned that. Just the whole learning about where to stay and finding free campsites around. It's after a couple of days and so, it just blends right in. You just find it, and with the apps you have, my favorite app is Islander, and then you got freecamping.net. That's also pretty good. So what else? Things I've learned. I don't know. Not much I learned. I learned that in the desert, when I was in the desert, where there is no water, it's hot and there is scarce. Water is nowhere. So when I was cooking and I was set up camp, I spilt water and I had water around on my little table. And then I saw a few bees there. And the next thing I knew, I had 100 or so, 200 or more bees just swarmed the back of my truck looking for all the water, because they wanted that more than food. So I had to stay away from my truck for about a good 3 hours before they all kind of disappeared. So let me see, what else? Let me think about this. So the other thing I like, so when I was working, I could take time off and stuff and travel around a little bit, but it's different. So there I had a home, you know, and then you had to be home at a certain time, you had to go to work. But now I have no home, got no place to go. So I have no place to be. So I have that freedom. So wherever I'm at, I have no worries that, oh, I have to be at this place at this time or anywhere else or a place to go. So I just chill out wherever I'm at. I don't worry about anything. I don't worry about being anywhere. So a lot of times I just stay in a place I like here. I'll stay here for a couple of days, or if I don't like it and I want to travel, I just pack up. It takes me 10 minutes to pack up. I'm on the road. I could be 20 miles down the road and I'm happy. So I have that freedom to be anywhere I want and decide wherever I want to be. All right, so there's been some upgrades I've done. So my first 2 weeks out, I was using a Yeti cooler, and that wasn't cutting it. So my first 2 weeks, there was one place I had to be. It was the Overland West Expo. We had was going to meet a couple people there, friend Joel, and I wanted to be there, and I was going to buy a refrigerator. Because living full-time in the Jeep and having a cooler and have to worry about ice, man, wasn't cutting it. So I wanted to get a nice Dematic refrigerator. Wasn't sure what I wanted. I had a million questions for these guys. So this was so perfect. We went there. I camped out in the expo. And sure enough, out of the thousands of people that were there camping, I camped right next to the Dematic refrigerator guys. And they were awesome. They were the best, man. Helped me out. 7 o'clock in the morning, they were measuring inside my Jeep and see if it would fit, give me some advice, and I knew exactly as soon as that expo opened up, beelined it right there, bought the fridge, got a good discount, almost $200, and that went into the Jeep. And that's one of my best investments I think I've ever made. And before I left, they made sure everything was working perfect and everything is gone. They guys are the best, man. They'll bend over backwards to make sure everything's right. And let's see, what else did I buy? Yeah, then that, I had a small battery. I had a 36 amp hour battery, small system, which was just good enough for charging up on cell phones and my laptop. but we need a little bit more. So a couple weeks down the road, we bought a big 115 amp hour battery, which went behind my seat, and we bought another solar panel to keep everything going. So that system's working great. It's keeping everything charged, but keeps my refrigerator going no matter what, keeps my beer cool. I'm very happy with that. So my other upgrade, my suspension, because I'm pretty much stock on my Jeep, and with the extra weight I've had, it was sagging in the back. Plus, you know, it's 14 years old, the Jeep. Not 14, 19 years old, the Jeep. So I found this spring place down in, not Flagstaff, Phoenix, Arizona. The place was pretty awesome. So they they've redid the springs, they re-stretched it, put more life into it, added another spring. It gave me a nice lift a little bit on there. So that helped out a lot. That cost me a little over $500. And just a normal couple of oil changes here and there. Let's see. So the other thing about being on the road, no stress, is my sleep. So when I had my apartment and I was working, I was worried about everything. I don't know why. I let everything bother me. You know, I used to get home just stressed. So I didn't get to sleep to way after 10 o'clock, 11, sometimes 12. Getting up, it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, go to work. Never got really a good night's sleep, but now I'm on the road here. I'm not worrying about anything, not stressed. I get to sleep around 9:30. Well, as we are up north here, sun sets at 9:30. So it's still got a lot of daylight at 9:30, and by 10 o'clock it's really starting to get dark. So by 10 o'clock I'm sound asleep, and I sleep really good to 7 o'clock easy. So I get a good probably 8 hours of sleep. So that never happened before, but now it does, and I'm relaxed. I get up in the morning and I'm not stressed, worried about anything. I just get up and make my coffee. I'll tell you, the one thing that does stresses me out a lot is my electronics. Damn, electronics never do what they're supposed to do. My Google's map, my GPS stuff, never does what it's supposed to do. Never on time. Always trying to get somewhere. Every time you hit sometimes you got to hit the button 4 or 5 times for some stupid reason. It doesn't want to work right. You want to swipe to get the app out of the way. It takes 5, 6 times. Nothing works the way it's supposed to do. And when you're trying to, in a hurry while you're driving, nothing works the way it's supposed to plan. Times you use that app 100 times, and all of a sudden it comes up, it's totally different, you know what to do. It's just amazing. That is just, sometimes it's just there just to mess with you. But that's the only thing that stresses me out, is the electronics. Never does what it's supposed to do. In this modern day and age, you would think a lot of it has been taken care of, but nope. None of it ever works the way it's supposed to. All right, the other thing I like, I'm on the road, is sometimes you get into campsites that it's got a lot of people that are kind of doing the same thing I am, and just get together, really nice, friendly people, and everybody gets together and sitting around having a beer and just having a good old time. You get together talking to a lot of people, and that's always fun. And there's times that, like today, we're in the boondocks. We finally drive back in these dirt roads, and we find the national forest land here, and we're at a campsite, and there's nobody around. I haven't seen a person in a couple of days, and it's nice. So you can either or you know, you can find places that there are a lot of people, or you can be by yourself. Doesn't matter. But ever since I left, though, on the road, all I encountered were people that were nice. Very happy people. A lot of people I met that are doing exactly what I'm doing, living on the road, and they're all very happy doing it. Nobody seems aggravated, depressed, or anything, and just being around all these people that are not happy, that are happy and jolly, friendly. It's nice. It's a nice feeling being around that. So that boosts you up a little bit. You don't have people taking you down. That's the biggest part. So it's just so many nice people around. I love this. So I think that's about it I got to say. Now I think give you a little tour of what I've done to my Jeep and how I live in it and the stuff I've done to it. Alright, here's the inside of the Jeep here. A little messy. We have our bed here. I love my bed. This is one of so I just have a blanket on top, and my biggest investment so far, got a nice foam 4-inch foam mattress here. It is so comfortable. I love that. So on top of that, I have my sleeping bag. Let me show you my sleeping bag. Get out here. I got it. So got my Western Mountaineering sleep bag here. We're airing it out. Okay, for my electronics, we have our solar panels. These are flexible solar panels. So these things here, they'll flex. They're thin, they're lightweight, and they get wired up. I got a control panel here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I got my controller. It's where the solar panels go in. I got an inverter, so I get 110 volts, so I can charge my laptop. And that's pretty much it. I got a couple switches here, so I can do a light. I can do a light if I want. And I got auxiliary stuff here that I can add on to whatever I want. And then I have my battery. So my battery is in the back here. I got it pretty well covered up. Now, let's see. Here's my battery in the back here. It's a 115 amp hour battery. It's a pretty big battery. I get a lot of life out of it. And of course, I got my Dometic fridge. It's a 38-liter fridge, and I put one of the things I did, my front seat here, I tossed it. So I just got fed up trying to do that. I didn't figure I don't need the seat. Unscrewed it, throw it out. Didn't need it. So that gave me a little extra room. And I got storage bins down here. So I have a lot of tools for, I was a machinist mechanic, you know, I built and designed machinery, so I didn't want to get rid of all those tools. So that's what probably most of this is here, is all precision tools for my being a machinist or whatever, so I can always get another part-time job somewhere along the line. But here's my fridge. Loving this fridge. So I got this insulator pouch over it. It's nice and insulated. It's pretty big, holds a lot of stuff in here. So, come on. I get everything from yogurt, my vegetables, milk, beer. I got a lot of meats in there. Keeps it cold no matter what, so I can store a lot of stuff in there. I have to say, the best refrigerator was the best investment so far, and my 4-inch foam mattress. Those were the two most important things that make life nice. Then I have on the side storage. So my one bin down here is just basic essentials of just sugar, salt, pepper, coffee, some breakfast stuff, oatmeal. Then I got my stove. Then I have some other storage things, which I have other tools down here for just basic car repairs. I have another bin here. That's full of just odds and ends for cooking, just long-term stuff, sardines and beans and a couple of things like that. A lot of rice. Then I have another bin full of my fly fishing stuff. And I got my top bin here is pretty much just for clothes that I need for the next couple of days, so I can just have everything stored up on top, and when I get dressed in the morning, it's there. And I have here also I got a small case here. That's all my toiletries and first aid kit, so I can you know, my toothbrush, razor, my electric razor, and you know, any band-aids, all kinds of stuff is in there. Then I have 2 milk crates here. So the bottom one's got all just basic odds and ends. I got a little shower attachment there. I got an air compressor, so when I'm off-road I can air down my tires and then blow them up when I'm done. And then the top one here is just full of odds and ends of pots and pans, dishes, just basic, yeah, basic camping, cooking stuff. Then I have strung up here, so I got my paper towels here. I got all my most important stuff here for coffee. I can make coffee in the morning, so I know where it's at. Pot for boiling water. And I have another line stretched up over here too. And that's just basically some flashlights and stuff for when I wake up in the middle of the night and I need some light, or when I'm going to bed. So down here I have, so I got a space in here which I have poles for when I do my tarp. So they go in there. I got my fishing poles in the cases here. Got all my fly rods. So they fit in there. They're nice and protected. And then I have a table here. So this is my little thing I designed, kind of. So it's just a piece of wood that slides in. Just slides out. Whoops. Very cool. Alright, to set my table up, basically, got my hiking pole. So I got a hole here to put in. It goes like that. I got some screws. So I just screw this table on. Pretty much takes me about a minute to set up, but I like screwing it down because it really makes it really sturdy. So if I knock into it, I'm not going to spill things out. So here's my stove. I just bought this stove a couple days ago, well, a week ago maybe, somewhere around there. So I bought this GSI, very cool stove. It's got a weird flaw to it, which I have my burners here, and I got my windscreen, but for some stupid reason I got this big space here. It's about an inch, right level with the burner. So the wind just goes right through this thing, right to the burner. So it's not even acting as a windshield. I don't know. Trying to figure that one out. So we modified the stove. We found this piece of wood. It was near a fire ring, so we cut this little slot in it. So basically we can put that right there and that'll block the wind. So until I can find a piece of metal, that's gonna have to do for now. So my water situation. So I carry, I got one bucket here, that's about 5 gallons, a Reno pack. So I got the one here for water, it's about 5 gallons, 5.5 gallons. I have 2 plastic, so I got 1 gallon each, so that's 2 gallons there, and I got the small little, quarts there, so that's easy to fill up. And then a lot of times, probably for the last month, all I've been drinking is right out of the stream with a water filter. So I have this water filter here. So I got this hiker water filter. It's a little pump, so I can head to the stream, pump out any water. It filters out everything, all the germs. Right. So this is how we get water in my bottle. We got our pump. And we pump our water, filter it out. So, this is how we've been filtering our water and getting our water for the last month. We haven't really taken anything out of a faucet in about a month. All natural. Pretty cool. Okay, I got this very simple setup for my tarp. Get me out of the rain. So, I got my tarp here. It's an 8x10 tarp. Probably cost me less than $10. And then I have just two poles here. They're adjustable poles. I just use two of them. A couple tie downs. I'm good to go. So basically I just drape it over the back of my Jeep, and it's held down by some bungee cords. One on the other side too. So my tires are stock, but I got mud terrain tires. I got Kenda. So they really work good for mud, just in case. So on top, I got my Max Tracks. They get me out of the mud, deep snow, if I really get stuck. I got those mounted up there on my custom rack I made. And I have another bin here that's just got jumper cables and some ropes and stuff for towing and things like that. And then I have, see it, I have water here, another 5 gallons of water. And I got another about 5 gallons of gasoline here, just in case. And I got my Thule storage rack. This keeps everything dry. So I got my little rack here. So I got one big thing here. That's just all my regular clothes that I normally wear. And my second one over is all my winter stuff, just in case, and some rock climbing gear in there. And I just have basically keeping my tent up there. I got a big shovel in the back. I got my bucket just for you know, when we need it. Some fly fishing stuff. And what else I got up in here? Then just some saws and just some basic just basic tools. The other thing with my solar panels, since they're so flexible, it's easy to store away. So basically what I do, under my mattress here, I just slide the panels right underneath my mattress, and it's perfectly, doesn't take up any room, works great. So now 2 months on the road, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. When do I want to settle down? If I want to settle down, I'm still trying to figure it out. But as I've been driving along, I've been looking at different opportunities where I could stay. And you know, one of them is New Mexico. I really like New Mexico. Has some nice nice people there. It's got high altitude, so it's not that hot. And the winters are pretty mild, it's not bad. But we went through Missoula here in Montana, and what a modern city. I felt like I was in New Jersey. It was very suburbs. It's a big city. It's got 2 hospitals, and the rent is cheap. If I go on a little outskirts a little bit, I can get an apartment for $500 easy, and I can live off that with my Social Security. So I'm still deciding what I'm going to do, but I think another week we're going to head up to Glacier National Park. We're going to explore there, drive around there, go across that, then kind of come back down, and we're going to cut across the state through go through Billings, Montana. We got to go through that. Then we're going to head down through Wyoming. You got to check out Wyoming. Maybe we'll do a little fishing there. And then we're going to get into South Dakota. So South Dakota is supposed to be one of the nicer places to retire. Get the sun. South Dakota is it's a nice place. They say what I can do there is get a permanent residence, and all I can get is through a mailbox. So that way I come a little legal. I get a register my car there in South Dakota, and I can still travel, and I got a place for my mail to go. And it doesn't cost that much. $35 for the mailbox, and then whatever it costs to re-register the car and stuff. So we got to check that out, go through there, and then we'll go to the lower states and see what happens there, and we're going to explore. So the plan is really not to have a plan yet. So for my navigation, this is the other thing I forgot to mention. I use the iPhone, and I got an iPad I use. So I got the iPhone is always sitting up here, and I have my iPad mounted to my right down further. So I have on the iPad, I got Gyna. That's one of my apps that I use, and that gives me location where I'm at, trails. I can plot courses. It tells me where I'm at, coordinates. It's good for hiking. Basically, it's free. Oh no, it's $20 for the first time when you order it, and then it's free after that for the basic system. That's if you're hiking and stuff like that. It's perfect. It's a great app. And then I think it's $39 a year, which gives me all the National Geographic maps and public land. So on that, it helps me out because I can tell wherever I'm at, if I'm on BLM land, if I'm on National Forest land. So it gives me an idea where I'm at. So if I'm on BLM land, anywhere I want, I can camp. So it gives me an idea. I know where I can camp and where I can't camp, you know, stuff like that, where I'm at. And then I have my iLander. It's my other app. Tells me where all my free camping spots are, or most of them. There's a lot that are still not on there. So that gives me an idea where there's some, well, as I'm traveling, I can get onto the map there, and I can find a place always to camp. And then there's freecamping.net I use, and that's another good app. And then Google Maps. That's my my go-to getting anywhere. So whatever I find on like Gyna or my iLander, I can upload that to Google Map, and then that'll take me to wherever I want to go real easy with no problems. So that's my system. So I think we covered everything. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to put a comment below. Ask any questions you want. Got a lot of flies out here today. So that's it for today. Okay, I think I covered everything. So I'm glad you guys followed through and got to the end. If you're new, so follow my adventures. We've been 2 months on the road, living out of my Jeep Cherokee. It's a 2000 Jeep Cherokee XJ. So we're trying to just travel everywhere. We got no plan. We're going to do a lot of fly fishing, a lot of hiking, try to document everything. So it'd be great if you guys came along on my journey. So smash that subscribe button. Smack it, whatever you want to do. We need you, man. So I'm John. I'm 64. I'm over the hill, and we didn't make it over a mountain today, but we will, and we'll catch you guys later. So don't forget, never stop listening to rock and roll, never stop walking, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.